Oh là là. Bon. Ça fait combien de temps qu'on n'a pas joué au jeu? Est-ce que vous êtes capable d'estimer un guess? Parce que moi j'ai l'impression que ça fait des années limite. Et que je suis en train de redécouvrir un jeu qui est vachement beau. Hein. Oh là là, bonsoir, bonsoir. Des bisous. Oh là, c'est le yen des cavernes hein, pour reprendre Tales of Arise. Un bon mois je dirais, ouais. Ça fait si longtemps qu'on n'a pas joué au jeu. On s'est quitté ici, je sais même plus qu'est-ce qu'on faisait. Hein. Ah, le jeu est beau. Hein. Le jeu est beau, mais faut baisser le son maintenant. Résumé des épisodes précédents. Oh mon dieu, qu'est-ce qu'on faisait? Qu'est-ce qu'on faisait dans le jeu, bordel? C'est moi ou le jeu il est... Il agouille un peu. Ça y est, c'est terminé, on ne sait plus jouer à des jeux correctement, c'est ça? Tadadam. Tire un peu le rideau. Tu te souviens du résumé? Oh, je suis presque capable, hein. Je suis presque capable, je dirais. À 2-3 fumisteries près. À 2-3 fumisteries près, je pense être capable. Alors, laissez-moi pour ça voilà, cacher quelques petits trucs. Voilà. Donc, nous sommes une équipe de joyeux lardons, hein, de joyeux larrons, qui se baladaient tranquillement dans un pays où on était des esclaves. Je me suis échappé avec une waifu qui fait mal aux gens quand on la touche. Cette waifu s'appelle Shion. Cette waifu m'a donné le pouvoir de l'épée de feu qu'il y a dans mon dos. Parce que moi j'avais pas mal, parce que j'avais un casque sur la tête. On a sauvé le monde du chaud, on a sauvé le monde du froid, on a sauvé le monde du rien, parce qu'il n'y avait pas d'éléments. Le monde de l'automne on va dire. Puis on a sauvé le monde de la mer. Et entre temps on a fait un autre monde parce qu'il y avait 5 orbes, non? Bah attends. Il y avait combien de mondes qu'on a sauvé? Comment on fait la carte? Je me rappelle plus des touches. Mais c'est où la carte? Non on peut se déplacer. Ah comme ça. Et puis carré. Ah. Et puis il y avait une liste, voilà. Oui voilà c'est ça. On a sauvé le monde du feu, qui est derrière moi. Puis après le monde du Calaglia, voilà. Ensuite le monde du froid. Ensuite le monde de... Ah voilà, le monde de la forêt gentil. Ensuite le monde de l'automne. Ensuite le monde de la flotte. En faisant ça on a obtenu les 5 boules de cristal magique pour invoquer la création d'un objet qui pourrait retirer la malédiction de Shion, qui est qu'elle meurt quand on la touche. Quand on est arrivé dans le monde de l'eau, il y a un bâtard qui semblait être le souverain du monde qui l'a capturé et qui lui a fait des choses salaces. Et en ce faisant, ça a brisé notre masque. On a perdu notre pouvoir de résister à la douleur. Jusque là, on est bon. Mais vu qu'il y avait déjà un souverain, on s'est dit qu'est-ce qui se passe? Normalement, la compétition de l'esclavage, c'était pour choisir un président du pays de là-haut, quoi. Et elle est où la planète? Bon, elle est par là-bas. Dans le guide, il n'y a pas le résumé justement, mais je vais faire le résumé moi-même, t'inquiète pas. Et du coup, toute la campagne présidentielle pour la planète de là-haut, c'était une supercherie un peu comme en France, pour faire croire aux gens qu'ils peuvent voter alors qu'en fait non. Et il y avait déjà un président en place, c'était le mec de l'eau. Et en fait, moi aussi, je suis un président, mais je suis le président qui... En fait, il a pris la place du calife à la place du calife, et c'était moi le calife. Alors pourquoi ils avaient pris un Danien pour faire le calife des Réniens? On a eu un flashback où on était dans la citadelle et on a fait des expériences sur nous, un peu comme la fin de Cyberpunk 2077, pendant lesquelles on a découvert que j'avais le pouvoir d'avoir un sceau de souverain qui me permettrait visiblement d'être trop fort. J'ai pété un câble, j'ai tué tout le monde, et il y avait une waifu qui était ma waifu, qui est morte et qui ressemble à Shion. Shion, qui ne veut pas qu'on meure, voulait prendre le Normandie pour aller à la citadelle combattre les moissonneurs toute seule. Et puis on a dit écoute Frangine, on va t'aider. Faut quand même pas déconner, on est tous des potes. C'est ça non? On peut même revoir la cutscene. Hein. Allô, ça va Tenchi? Pourquoi il y a un point d'exclamation? DLC non récupéré. Pas de collaboration SNX. Oh. Comment je fais pour voir? On peut écouter de la musique. Fusil de chasse, bâton des étoiles, barrette de fleurs de Sophie. Oh, on a eu des tenues. C'est quoi que j'ai obtenu? J'ai déjà oublié. C'est un skin d'arme. Ah oui. Oh le katana. Oh le katana de Raiden. Oui, je le mets. Et elle aussi? Fusil de chasse. Oh à l'ancienne, vas-y. Et lui? Bâton des étoiles. Tout le monde a un nouveau truc? Non. Est-ce qu'elle a une nouvelle robe? Bref, c'est ça. L'arme de Scarlet Nexus, d'accord. C'est ici qu'il y a un président du pays de là-haut et que tu vas faire toi-même le résumé de la supercherie comme en France, gouverné par le mec de l'eau, alors que c'est toi en vrai. Et toi en vrai. En vrai, et en plus, on a fait des expériences sur toi que pour que tu ailles et que tu aies le sceau du souverain et tu sautes sur les moissonneurs. Oui, c'est ça. Tu sautes sur les moissonneurs. Ouais. C'est pas facile à lire. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Mais on peut revoir la cutscene qui était vachement larmoyante, mais je sais pas si ça va nous larmoyer maintenant que ça fait un mois. Est-ce que vous pensez que la cutscene larmoyante... Putain, c'est floutisé. Est-ce que vous pensez que la cutscene... Ah non, c'est pas floutisé. J'ai rien dit. Non, en fait, c'est pas colorimétré. Il faut que je mette un petit écran qui m'illumine. Qui illumine mon beau visage de caverneux, là. Promis, après la Ramadan, je vais chez le coiffeur. Et on vivra une vie de mec moins caverneux, quoi. Ouais, t'as tout compris, hein. T'as tout compris. Et moi aussi, hein. Comme quoi, ça fait longtemps, mais on se rappelle. Est-ce qu'on se retape la cutscene? Mais elle était larmoyante. Est-ce qu'on la larmoie? Je pense pas qu'elle va nous larmoyer. Faudrait peut-être pas la re-regarder. En gros, ce qui s'est passé, c'est que Shion, elle a voulu partir. Mais en fait, il y a un souci. J'ai l'impression que les FPS sont pas bons. Mais en fait, il y a eu une mise à jour. J'ai dû télécharger 3-4 gigas là. J'ai l'impression que ça m'a flutch mes paramètres. Enfin, je me pose à la vidéo. C'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. C'était le flou de mouvement qui m'avait tout remis parce que j'ai dû télécharger une mise à jour et ça a tout remis. Tous les paramètres étaient un peu biaisés. C'est là que je me mettais dans l'écran ou pas? En bas à droite. Faut que je regarde mes anciennes vidéos de Tales of. Je sais plus où je me mettais. OBS. Après, je vais ouvrir une vidéo, ça va biaiser mon écran là. Mais bon, c'est pas grave. Ouvrons celle-ci. Ah oui, j'étais en bas à droite. J'étais en bas à droite, mais collé parce que c'est vrai qu'il y a les âmes dans le truc, mais c'est pas grave. On peut rester en bas à droite, pas collé. C'est bon, c'est bon. On sait jamais parce que je savais plus trop ce qu'il fallait que je fasse. Du coup, on a juste l'histoire principale qu'on va faire, je pense. Je vais essayer de tomber les quêtes secondaires parce que de toute façon, je me rappelle que les quêtes secondaires elles étaient trop dures pour moi. Il y avait les hiboux, il y avait un zeugle de level 60, là c'est le temple endgame, ça c'était encore un mec level je sais pas combien. C'était que des... Ça en plus il faut juste que je trouve un livre. Il y avait 1, 2, 3, 4 mobs un peu forts. On pourra peut-être y aller plus tard. Donc vers les cieux. Donc en gros faut prendre le Normandie et se TP vers le futur. Attends mais on a déjà campé non? Mais c'est moi ou c'est avant la cutscene et je me suis dit la prochaine fois on fait la cutscene? Si ça se trouve on est avant la cutscene. 51, 23, 39. 51, 21, 51, 3. Ça se trouve on est avant la cutscene hein. Bon avançons. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qu'on a oublié dans l'histoire? Ah oui, Shion, à un moment elle avait peur qu'on soit plus ses amis parce qu'on pouvait plus la toucher. Mais je crois que pendant la cutscene on lui avait fait un câlin et ça allait mieux. Décoller. Ah carrément. J'ai du craft à faire ou pas? On peut courir? Comment ça joue ce jeu? Ah oui c'est un vrai jeu. On clique droit pour courir. C'est bon, c'est bon. Est-ce qu'on a des scénettes à faire? Je crois que j'avais déjà crafté des trucs de fou. Ah oui c'est vrai qu'ils font que parler pour rien. God.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What? Did you guys hear? Apparently she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Ouais, t'étais captivé par son décolleté, hein. Regardez toutes ces scénettes, c'est quand même grave, hein. Vous croyez que j'ai toutes les scénettes du jeu ou pas? Plus que 3 jours, quoi, il y a un point d'exclamation. C'est une scénette que j'ai ratée.
It looked like they were pretty scattered.
Well, whatever they're after. Let's just hope none of them are.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right?
I thought you.
Against. Besides.
On n'a pas le contexte, on va juste appuyer dessus. Mais c'est pas ici qu'on pouvait crafter? Bah moi je cuisine hein. On sait jamais, peut-être qu'il y aura des méchants. On va prendre minerai du coup. Minerai rare. C'est-à-dire s'il y a des méchants, ce serait bien de pouvoir miner de manière plus efficace. Je pense qu'on est tous d'accord là-dessus.
Hey.
Après on peut parler à quelqu'un. Oh on peut parler à tout le monde. Oh moi je parle à Shion.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
Hey, do you have time to talk? There's something I need to ask you.
Of course. What's up?
It's about the doll I used to have as a little girl. I gave it some more thought and I still don't remember actually receiving it from anyone.
You were so little. I don't think it's that surprising you've forgotten, is it?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Je crois que la poupée c'était quelqu'un d'autre qui l'avait.
I'm starting to think I just always had it with me from the start. I know that it's extremely unlikely, but after last time we talked, it got me thinking. Maybe you brought the doll that child made with you to Lenegis.
I couldn't be.
Are you saying you didn't? Look, logically speaking, I know it's a lot more likely that you didn't bring it with you than you did. But you can't say for sure you didn't, right?
C'est la poupée de l'ancienne Shion.
Crazier things have happened.
De la waifu d'avant. Et elle pense être la nouvelle waifu.
Sometimes things happen in life that we never thought possible.
You make a good point.
Oh la niaiserie, j'avais oublié. Oh Tales of. Oh là là. Ah, il faut jouer à Triangle Stratégie, c'est vrai. Je viens d'y penser.
Why can't a little doll have made the same jump too?
Right? Look, it's up to you to decide if there's any meaning behind all of this. But I choose to think there is.
Yeah, I think so too. There's something beautiful about the whole thing that simply can't be denied.
Ok, donc on va can't be denied du coup, hein. Tous ensemble. Vous êtes plus proche de Shion. Ah. C'est possible d'être encore plus proche d'elle là? On était déjà vachement proche. En fait je veux faire les autres scénettes avant de continuer. On va continuer à manger du poulet du coup. On n'est pas obligé de cuisiner en vrai. Si? Ah je peux plus. D'accord. Tant pis. Est-ce que vous croyez que j'ai toujours le bonus de poulet ou je l'ai perdu? Enfin de minerai? Ouais, je l'ai
Days like
encore, donc
this
c'est
are
ok.
made for fishing.
Days like this are rather loud.
Comment on fait la carte? Carré. Carré, bien sûr. Ah, mais là-bas, c'est le mec pour crafter. J'ai vite fait check. Après, on décolle. J'avais pas 1 million d'objets que je pouvais vendre gratos? Où? Oh, c'est pour tirer les points d'exclamation. J'ai rien à acheter. Lame d'expiation. Tout le monde a sa meilleure truc sauf elle. Clôture de ferme. Ah non, c'est pas ça. Ok, elle a le meilleur truc. Ok. Pour les accessoires, tout le monde avait des bons trucs, non? Je m'étais un peu embêté. Ah ouais, attaque 60, 60, mordu de combat, attaque 15. 60, 75%, mordu de combat, PS moins 10%, attaque, attaque, mordu de combat, attaque élémentaire, attaque... Oh, c'est bon. C'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. Tout le monde est fort, c'est bon. Et pourtant, on va juste appuyer sur triangle pour gagner. Oh, t'as vu ça ou pas? Mais je crois, mais on est tous pareils, c'est parce qu'on joue au FF. Oh, regardez, il y a d'autres points d'exclamation, les gars. Mais je crois qu'ils ont rajouté un menu nouveau pour que tu... Pour les gens comme moi, quoi. Clé secrète, clé d'une porte en Calagdia, rien qu'en la regardant. On se demande à quelle merveille elle permet d'accéder. Faut aller où avec cette clé? Bon, tant pis, moi je prends le Normandie et je vais à la citadelle. Rena, territoire des Rhéniens, que l'on peut apercevoir dans le ciel au-dessus de Tana. Oh, c'est vraiment le Normandie, mais c'est FF12, c'est FF14. On va voir l'autre.
It's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
Le Normandie.
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means
The fuck?
owl in the ancient tongue. Literally,
Hibou.
the one drawn to the skies.
Oh, la musique.
I like it.
Ça me fait penser à je sais plus quelle musique.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and
On
make
a
the
deux
Rebels
objectifs.
finally leave down on the
D'abord, libérer le chef du DARPA, Donald Anderson, et libérer Kenneth Baker, le président d'Armtech, tous deux retenus en otage. Et ainsi que vérifier si oui ou non les terroristes ont la capacité d'envoyer une frappe nucléaire, et si oui, les en empêcher. Ce sont nos deux objectifs. Pardon, c'est un traumatisme. Faut pas parler de deux objectifs en face de moi. On peut avoir le droit à 1, 2, 3 objectifs, mais pas 2. Faire ça comme ça, moi.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
L'espace.
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how
Ah, c'est vrai qu'elle a un
small you are.
legging derrière son armure,
Everything
elle.
into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the ones set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Si oui, les en empêcher. Sinon, leur donner une frappe nucléaire pour qu'on puisse les en empêcher. Et avoir une raison de bombarder l'endroit. That's the American way. Oh là 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 là. Ce son, il me fait penser à un film. C'est pas Jurassic Park. C'est pas Jurassic Park. Si, c'est Jurassic Park. Enfin, on peut parler à tout le monde. Regardez Shion et truc en premier. On va se balader dans le Normandie. Oh là là. Il est bien le jeu. Allez, c'est quand que vous sortez ensemble, vous deux, bande d'adolescents prépubères là? Hein?
Alvin, listen to this. So Law and I were just talking and
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just
I
think
was
it's
scared.
a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renin technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alvin. It's just wrong, okay?
Ouais, c'est Jurassic Park. Un peu modifié, mais je sens le tune derrière. C'est un ascenseur, ça, c'est à l'ancienne. Pas à l'ancienne. C'est beaucoup de vaisseaux dans les jeux japonais, ils ont un ascenseur comme ça. Ça, c'est une cabine téléphonique, bien sûr, pour appeler la famille depuis l'espace. Et ça, c'est les toilettes. C'est juste qu'ils ont le même design, quoi. Faut pas se tromper, par contre. Tu peux passer un coup de fil, tu te retrouves à chier. Capsule de sauvetage au cas où on meurt, Kisara.
You okay? Feeling
Je me suis rappelé de son nom.
Actually, now that you mention
Comme
it,
quoi.
not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'en mer, elle a envie de vomir à chaque
That
fois.
device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod.
Ah,
Fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight out
Anaori, c'est l'ancienne
Does
Shion.
that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just
Oh, Kisara, c'est bon.
dream is for all Danans.
J'étais assez patient pour ta cutscene.
To be free. If I've learned anything on this
J'en peux
journey,
déjà
it's
plus.
that.
Mais oui, on va sauver le monde et les gens seront
Who brought me
gentils.
along was you.
Oh god.
I'll
Eh oui,
forever
mais oui,
be
je te
grateful
ferai
to
l'amour
you.
aussi après Shion, mais chacun
Not
son
out of this
tour.
forest just yet.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Voilà, one cutscene at a time, please. Elle a une queue? Ah non, c'est vrai, c'est sa ceinture. Non, mais c'est à chaque fois que je me fais embrouiller là-dessus. Poète, 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 poète.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
J'avais oublié à quel point c'était une bande dessinée le jeu.
It is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Attendez, il a une bulle de dialogue et aussi il a une bulle de dialogue après. Mais c'est nouveau ça. Non, c'était déjà comme ça le jeu. Ah oui, ce jeu est trop bien. Il y a un petit V quand t'as fait le dialogue. C'est trop stylé. Tu sais, quand t'arrives dans une ville et que tu veux parler à tous les PNJ, c'est trop pratique. Montez par là. Dis-moi. Oh, il y a une touche pour sauter. Par contre, comment est-ce qu'on attaque?
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took.
Est-ce qu'ils ont mis une sonde anale ou pas?
One test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect
C'est ça ce que font les extraterrestres d'habitude.
Whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse.
C'est FF14 le
Is
jeu.
it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction,
Empêchez-moi de faire un Tales of à partir de maintenant.
include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice.
Je vous en
That's what you've been
supplie, hein.
fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers.
Mais je me rappelle plus, c'est les tornes, les pics, les épines qu'elle a là. Ils ont une volonté du démon de vouloir détruire le monde. Je crois que c'est un détail qu'on nous avait expliqué, mais j'ai oublié. Est-ce que je nous écouterai si on t'en empêche? Franchement, c'est le deuxième que j'essaye. Et... le premier, je suis arrivé à la moitié, j'ai pété un câble. Hein. Les Estiria là. Le mec il voit des amis anges invisibles aux autres, pour lui c'est tous des waifus en petite tenue, j'ai envie de tout péter. Hein. Et la niaiserie de Zestiria est tellement abusée, c'est grave. Hein.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it,
C'est quelle touche pour
I don't know
dodge?
the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Da, 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 da.
First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its
Y'a
own
pas de dodge. Y'avait pas une roulade?
Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Y'avait une roulade.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
Tout ce que je sais, c'est qu'il y a Animation Lock. C'est Animation Lock jeu. Animation Lock V.
Family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Le Halim, c'est le orangé du jeu. Hein. Il faut 3000 mots pour faire 2 phrases.
Even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
C'était une esclave scientifique, un cobaye.
You've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Bah oui.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on
Oh
Lenegis?
putain, la meuf en rouge, c'est vrai.
Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the
Ah, la
possibility.
meuf en rouge.
Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
Rappelez-vous, c'est la meuf de Nier qui est venue dans le jeu histoire de nous rappeler que qu'on n'oubliera jamais Nier et que ce jeu qu'on essaie de fuir veut pas arrêter de revenir. C'est pour ça qu'il faut ban Tales of Arise.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Je vous jure, c'est la musique de Jurassic Park. Hein. À 2-3 détails près, quoi.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
On est venu comme ça, genre aucune embrouille. Bah oui.
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
Non.
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
La zone interdite, ça me paraît logique de commencer là-bas. Hein.
Forbidden.
Je vois aucun
What are they
problème
hiding?
là-dessus.
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
And you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
Donc tout ça pour dire que dans la zone interdite, il y a sans doute des trucs intéressants vu que c'est interdit.
Seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
JPP.
There's only one way to find out.
On peut finir le
If there's
jeu
even
là.
a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Ok. Donjon quoi.
Beyond
Ok,
that wall
let's
lies a
go.
city full of Renins.
Oh.
Thinking
Peut même
about
pas
what could
jouer.
be lurking out here is giving me
Il y avait
the
une scénette.
heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
Quabbling?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
2.
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
Mais pourquoi ils utilisent des
There's Zoogles out
monstres?
here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Les mecs ils utilisent des zeugles. Zeugles des mobs quoi. Ah. Gros mur invisible. Volcan de Berg. Non non c'est bon, c'est bon. On va pas retourner sur Terre. On est pas quand même fou à ce point. Naori Emeris. Rien pu lire d'autre quoi. J'ai découpé toutes les vidéos de Is6 aussi. Vous serez heureux de voir que ça popera après Is3. Ah mais le bled est foutu. GG pour le Beastcrafter. Je suis censé être au courant que c'est tout défoncé, non hein. Ils ont l'air tout aussi choqués que moi.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
Ah c'est
But
ça,
they wouldn't
c'est ce que
move
j'allais
around
dire en
places
plus.
where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter.
Bah oui.
Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Visiblement tout le monde s'en fiche.
Is that you?
Ah, direct on l'a reconnu. Hein.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest?
Je vous laisse, bonne nuit Tenchi, merci d'être passé. Des bisous.
Heard what?
Ils sont pas au courant?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the sovereign to tell us
Il a
what's
failli être full
happening.
raciste, heureusement qu'il lui a fait fermer sa gueule. Hein.
We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself, okay, Do?
Do. Voilà, moi je vais juste me moquer maintenant. Drama.
So who's
Drama.
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
I shall explain it away by saying,
What could be
jouera
so
jamais.
important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
Mais oui, on va leur casser la gueule si vous me laissez jouer le jeu.
Energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right?
You heard him.
Ok. Oh!
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought.
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all. This place is a mystery, that's for sure.
Yeah.
On va plus vite en mini speedrun. Hein. J'en peux plus moi. J'ai oublié ce jeu de chiasse. Ouais, tu es par terre, reste par terre. Il soigne les enfants. Pas besoin d'overmeld, hein. On va soigner les randoms. Je crois qu'on a besoin de faire ça. Oh! Machin un petit plat.
Everything will be okay now.
I know
Ah.
the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Il y a plein de mecs à qui parler. Ok, on va quand même parler à toutes les étoiles en avançant parce que de toute façon il y en a une au bout.
Oh dear me, what an unspeakable mess this is. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I,
Oh,
one
ce
and the same.
vieux.
I have returned to fulfill a special duty. The
Ce
details of
vieux de
which I
type
cannot
âgé quoi.
divulge.
De type
As
ancien.
your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond
Il y a vraiment une format de
recognition.
chips, hein.
Now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Pourquoi je l'ai écouté faire des remerciements? Tout péter moi. Je vais tout péter, je vais tout péter. Des fraises. Bonjour madame. Laissez-moi tranquille madame. Vous voyez bien que vous servez à rien. Bili 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 bim.
Your lordship, I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I witnessed the deaths of...
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all...
All red, eh? No, I can't say...
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently.
Never mind. Forget it.
On lui a posé des questions, visiblement il a jamais rien vu, jamais rien entendu et il sert à rien, il a fait le malin à la fin, il mérite des patates mais bon. On va pas le patater parce que la touche n'existe pas. Mais bon, faudrait quand même des jeux avec la touche patater le mec. Fable il y avait ça. Fable on pouvait patater les gens. Avant de parler à cette meuf, on va finir de soigner les gens. Ah mais je peux pas. Pas aller nulle part. Odokoro, Yodokoro ça. On va parler à la waifu. Elle a l'air paumée de base hein.
You look a little lost.
Bah oui.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home as
I was hoping to head this way myself.
Hmm.
The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how?
Oh ils arrêtent pas d'être stun parce qu'il y a Dohalim,
Yes,
c'est bon, c'est
strange, isn't
bon.
it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
Oui,
But
dis-nous.
of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime,
You'd really do that?
our lot in life is...
Oh,
Ouais.
Well, we've canvassed the
Oh
city for information.
god.
you
Ça
think?
fait 1 heure qu'on joue
No
pas.
one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after
Toujours
all.
sur ce jeu, à ce que je vois, ça fait 1 mois que je l'ai pas lancé et je comprends pourquoi. Hein. Hier on a fini Elden Ring. Du coup on est au point où voilà quoi.
which would indicate that
On va
something
finir ce jeu vite fait. Mais le jeu il veut même pas se laisser finir.
Given
En
everything
plus pour le
that's
finir faut
happened
juste que
in the
j'appuie
city,
sur triangle enfoncé
people here seem weirdly
en
okay
spam.
with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything
comprends
that
plus
happens
rien.
here is attributed to the sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all
Peut-être qu'un
part
jour on
of
va
the
s'en
sovereign's
sortir.
grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about.
Mm-hmm.
Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
Ta, ta,
The sovereign, of
ta, ta.
course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day.
C'est un empereur quoi.
Come to think of it, I know
Dictateur
nothing
même.
of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
Ils sont jamais allés sur
No,
Rena?
I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at,
Complexe
Tohley?
comme vie. J'avoue moi j'ai commencé...
Assuming what I
Sérieux?
believe to be
Sérieux
correct,
Dokoro?
it's possible
T'as
that no
commencé
one
par
on Lenegis has ever
Trails in
laid
the
eyes
Sky
on the
j'espère.
actual
Trails in the
Renan
Sky
homeland
first
itself.
chapter.
No one but the sovereign, that is.
Bon ça toi merci.
But what about trade and
C'est
communication?
pas possible.
There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
C'est pas possible que dans tout ce jeu, genre personne ne soit sur Rena.
But I thought you said that the sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen
Ouais
to
c'est
the
ça.
city,
Oh c'est
like
bien,
now?
c'est bien. En plus j'ai envie de refaire le chapitre 1 et 2, histoire d'avoir les playlists sur YouTube, parce que je les ai fait il y a longtemps et j'avais pas record.
Just before the ceremony.
Et à l'époque j'avais les vidéos sur Twitch, et puis quand ils ont tout supprimé de ce qui était pas... ce qui avait plus d'un mois, bah je les ai
Whoever
plus.
wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis.
Ah le jeu est cool.
Thereafter, that individual is known as the sovereign. Though
C'est une
it would
très
appear that the current
très longue
ruler has
route.
gone silent. As for how
Mais
Volron
chaque
factors
jeu
into all this,
en soi est quand même cool.
at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone
Ils savent
really
même pas
is
c'est
off limits
qui.
to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we
Mais c'est
need
pas
to go.
censé être Zoran là ou je sais pas quoi, le mec de l'eau. Quand on l'a trouvé il avait le sceau du souverain.
It could point us in the right
J'ai pas
direction.
suivi. Bon à voir.
Let's go find it.
C'est bon, on peut jouer au jeu. On peut pas.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed.
Ouais, elle peut changer de vêtements peut-être et ne plus être en rouge. Ah mais c'est vrai qu'on est dans un RPG. Oh mais c'est pas possible. Tu peux me chercher à manger.
Has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Bon, j'avoue que cette conversation-là, elle était un peu marrante. Heureusement que je l'avais sur les haut-parleurs. Et que l'anglais, c'est la gratuité. Bon, il est temps de jouer quand même au bout d'un moment. Ça fait combien de temps qu'on record? 57 minutes, j'ai envie de tout péter. Ah merde, c'est comme ça que je réapparais. C'est quoi qui fait ce bruit? Ah ok, c'est ce truc en bas. Elle fait un kamehameha de flotte pour éteindre le feu et eux ils se baladent. C'est dur hein. Ah ça va. Ah j'ai cru que c'était le chargement dans la zone, non c'est encore une cutscene. J'en peux plus.
I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord.
Only current acting lords have power.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now.
Mais ils penseraient rien à part être choqués comme Dohalim hein.
Almadria and Volran.
Mais Voran il est mort, à moins qu'il s'est passé un truc.
Aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Ah ouais.
Well, yeah, why
On
would
les a juste tués.
To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow.
Bah oui.
Nothing more.
On n'a jamais essayé de les comprendre à aucun moment.
But seeing Renans in their own
On est
city,
juste des barbares.
their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
Bah oui, on est des monstres. C'est normal hein. Pas oublier, on est des rebelles, hein. Des terroristes même.
To imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals?
Les autochtones. Oh, grosse traduction en français hein.
Every lord in their household has their share of supporters.
Alors qu'ils auraient pu mettre les locaux quoi.
And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us. Et rien. Oh la quête secondaire qui pop. Oh là là.
Bah oui, bah oui, bah oui, on va la faire. Bah oui, c'est bon, c'est bon. Oh là là. Oh, j'ai lancé les gens d'Avirose, moi. Au moins, c'est moi qui fais les voix, quoi. Génial la vie, hein.
Ball said how did Lenin care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Ok, visiblement Balsef n'était pas méchant de ouf. Ah si, mais bon bref. Mhm. C'est moi où elle parle toute seule.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena's...
Mais j'essaie de te libérer.
Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of
C'est clair que de temps en temps il y a des mots.
Seems like Ganabelt also had people who cared about
On
him
apprend deux
very
trois choses quoi.
So why couldn't he extend that to us, Dan?
Juste au mec comme ça, les points, les trois petits points ils disparaissent. C'est mon côté, c'est mon côté pif. Et quoi, il y a encore quelqu'un qui parlait dans la zone? Pourquoi parler aux gens qui... Ah oui. Ouais, y a personne ici, hein, on se barre. La vidéo fait 1 heure, on a même pas fait un combat. Hein. Typical Tales of Arise. Ouais, à toute de Koro, amuse-toi bien. Ah, c'est une autre zone en fait. Ah, elle a l'air d'être encore ok. Hein.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Bam bam. Ah, c'est Almedria, ok. Bref. On fout un peu d'Almedria. Hein.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Allez le vieux, on nous raconte la vie des autres. Ah, je peux plus bouger. C'est la fin de la quête.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest
Mais
of
c'est vrai
us.
que le mec qui a donné la quête, c'est nous-mêmes.
Despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Non.
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own
Qu'il leur faut tout ça pour arriver jusque là,
Yeah, but still,
c'est chaud.
just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Renwell.
Voilà, people, pas humains, parce que c'est pas des humains. Le jeu il comprend rien. Les traducteurs français, j'ai envie de les tuer quoi. Ouais. Comme un monstre souverain de Dana. Des idiots. Ils savent pas traduire.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Danan Being, bien sûr. Ou Renan Being. Vous n'êtes pas des humains. Vous êtes des races à part entièrement bizarres. Ok? Hein? On va vous arrêter. Arrêtez de dire n'importe quoi. Dans le jeu vidéo. Idiot bête. Pourquoi tu pleures, gamine? On s'en fout. Je vais rentrer à la maison, mais c'est non. Ok, allons-y. Ce pont m'a l'air dangereux, je sais pas pourquoi. Un grand espace implique de grandes responsabilités. Attendez. Oh, c'est le truc du loot qui avait pop, ok. Ah.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest
Blah.
itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Bah oui.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Mais qu'est-ce qui se passe dans ce jeu? On comprend rien. Et comment ces gens ils peuvent remarquer ce genre de choses aussi grosses que maintenant? Parce que nous on joue, on n'y pense pas, mais c'est parce que c'est tellement gros que c'est débile, tu vois. Que genre y ait personne sur leur planète d'origine, ou que leur président n'apparaît jamais en public. Alors souvent.
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every
quand
crown
même chaud, hein.
contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
On est au point où tout n'est que mensonge quoi.
Doe?
Mais c'est cutscene tous les 3 mètres. Oh, Paria!
Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was?
But why are you here?
Just to suffer
Don't tell
every
me you've
night.
given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Faut vous calmer, madame. Ça fait 7 ans, madame. Oula.
Dohalim.
On peut l'appeler Do.
apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides,
Après, c'est après la fin du jeu, c'est pas grave.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Damn. That was some quite drama. Bon, on va couper la vidéo ici parce qu'il semblerait enfin qu'on arrive dans un donjon. Et ça fait 3 jours qu'on n'arrête pas de lire des trucs. J'espère vraiment avoir du contenu qui arrive. Des bisous.